When Tony Blair was the UK's Prime Minister, he created a delivery unit in Whitehall. Its purpose was to deliver public sector reform. Sir Michael Barber was the man in charge. It was he who invented Deliverology, the science of delivery, and this is how he defined it. Isn't it interesting? Barber uses a dictionary-style definition as though that will lend some authority to his idea. In my 2008 book on the failure of public sector reform, I devoted a whole chapter to the madness that is Deliverology. I described it as Mickey Mouse command and control, but noting that was very unfair to the mouse and somewhat generous to Barber. This is Barber's Mickey Mouse command and control. This is Deliverology. If you want to make a change, top management sets targets for the people in the front line. In order to connect the top management to the people down in the front line, you've got to worry about the delivery chain, all the bits and pieces in between the top and the front line. All of these bits in the chain have to have their own actions, milestones and timetables in order that the front line will deliver on the targets. Now, I can't be the only person thinking, wow, is management that easy? I can understand how politicians in their naivety would say, oh, I'll have some of that. That's great. But to be fair to Barber, he does say it isn't quite as simple as that. He says, you've got to be bold. You need high quality execution of programs and projects, ambitious planning. You need to focus on clear and sustained priorities, clarity of purpose, preparedness to confront issues, urgency to accomplish set goals, and you'll need to ensure irreversible transformation of structure, culture, and results. You got all that? Barber goes on to say, a good delivery unit will establish targets, create plans to manage delivery, set out key milestones and trajectories, and the plan must deal with accountability along the chain, key actions for progress, bringing your stakeholders on board, risk management, and, of course, appropriate data. And this, he says, will nurture a results culture. On top of all that, Barber says you'll also need delivery reports that summarise your progress, and you'll need to have problem-solving skills to be used in the event of less desirable outcomes. Well, he got that bit right. There were plenty of less desirable outcomes. Undesirable outcomes are a sure thing with top-down target setting. If you read Barber's book on Deliverology, you'll see that 1 year in, it wasn't working. So what did he do? He established priority reviews. Who was it who said the first sign of madness is doing the same thing and expecting a different result? Or as the late Russ Ackoff would say, this is trying to do the wrong thing righter. Read his book. 3 years in, it still wasn't working. And then, as if by magic, the numbers started to appear. And on that basis, Barber made claims for improving public services. But did things really improve? In education, Deliverology drove teaching to the test, training rather than education. Teachers chose the easiest examination boards and prevented pupils at risk of failing from taking the tests. Deliverology took the value out of learning. In health, Barber claimed Deliverology drove achievement of the 4-hour waiting target in A&E. What it actually drove was cheating on a massive scale. Barber claims Deliverology made trains more punctual, but again all it did was engage people's ingenuity in fixing the numbers. Train operators adjusted their timetables so your train can be late, but it's still on time. And the target doesn't apply if a train doesn't run, so train operators cancel trains. Great! That'll do it. Barber claims Deliverology improved policing, but all it did once again was engage police officers' ingenuity in making their numbers. So to get more convictions for violent crime, police officers who attended incidents like children fighting in a playground will book them both for violence. Brilliant! They make their targets and criminalise our children. Well, here's a better definition of Deliverology. It's a top-down method by which you distort a system, undermine achievement of purpose, and demoralise your people. Top-down management by targets can only lead to the distortion and sub-optimisation of systems. Any target or any other arbitrary measure will only serve to engage people's ingenuity towards meeting the target, regardless of the impact on the system. And as the gap between targetry and reality becomes apparent, people become demoralised, slaves to the hierarchy who have lost sight of their purpose. During the reign of Blair and Barber, the UK increased expenditure on public services and, incredibly, made them worse. Deliverology was a disease which created the illusion of improvement.